welcome everybody to our CLOUDERA Enterprise Data Cloud webinar. My name is Ken Monty. I'm the lead solution architect at Fierce Software. Fierce Software is a small, woman-owned, value-added reseller. Our strengths are in enterprise open source solutions, primarily in secure platforms, DevOps, and data analytics. Most of our customers are in the public sector. We deal directly with federal system integrators, so prime contractors that make the planes, trains, and automobiles. We work with them to put a lot of these logos together to do some really cool things. We enable our customers with some of our value adds, such as complimentary training, webinars, and workshops. We can deploy virtually on site. We've been coast to coast in a single week. We drop in with a lab, can work across automation, containers, DevOps, security, and data science, just to name a few topics. We've done lunch and learns to 4-day team training campaigns, so holler at us if you'd like to explore your own training and workshop options. We've got our little social bits down there below. We'll provide our contact information at the end as well. Today we'll be focused on all things data. And there are some powerful changes around big data, data analytics, and data science, what have you. These changes can either produce a better, more cohesive experience or drive devastating division. Whether you're a nation state, a flush and large enterprise, or a resource-strapped organization, data will either make or break you. As government organizations modernize, we can expect new initiatives and legislations to help push agencies along with their data mandates. One such piece of legislation that was made law earlier in 2019 was the Open Government Data Act. This bill requires that all non-sensitive government data be made available in machine-readable formats by default. Agencies are now called upon to maintain comprehensive data catalogs and designate a non-political chief data officer. So it's no longer a question of do we do data, and now more of a mission of how do we handle our data? And that's a much larger question and quandary to unwrap than first meets the eye. So before we get too deep into the esoteric nature of life, love, and data, we'll take a look at how some of this all started. Since IT modernization has been driven hand-in-hand with data management, we'll see how things have changed over the years, including a more recent change from Hortonworks and CLOUDERA you might have heard of. We'll take you through a peek into what's in store with CLOUDERA's Enterprise Data Cloud Platform, how it affects you, and what your next steps are. Scalable data management is not a new problem, but it has grown over the years, and enterprise-ready data management requires even more as technology evolves. The Hadoop platform, some foundational components dating back to the late 1990s, was created to address this scalable data management problem in a cost-effective way on any commodity hardware. Arguably, it hit critical mass when a small company you might have heard of called Yahoo ran a production 700-node cluster in 2007. Then, within a few short years, CLOUDERA and Hortonworks were founded. Amazon started offering their own Elastic MapReduce service, and Yahoo's small cluster hit over 42,000 nodes. This popularly growing data platform had helped solve some issues related to cost, distribution, and scale, and it's used around the world. As the deployment of enterprise data was adopted, additional challenges were presented. As organizations started to adopt enterprise data practices, there was soon an issue with having many data silos. Often these different silos were disconnected, housed different kinds of data, and rarely were ever in a similar or like format. So what we had were snapshots of different points of data, disparate bits of insights presented in different constructs and languages without a way to get the value of correlating all of that data. As data drove more and more value, it helped move IT from a cost center to a revenue-generating part of the business. Integrations became mandatory, not simply between different teams or systems in your organization, but interchanges between businesses help pave the way for the hyper-aware and hyperactive capability that now give us the ability to know within moments of when an Amazon package has been delivered, and will trigger an IoT device sitting on your desk. With the additional integrated repositories of data and a scalable platform, analysts and scientists can now make and create and employ models that were previously technologically impossible. This data science can range from predictive measures on equipment in order to perform preventative maintenance using efficiency-boosting factors, to social economic patterns on a global scale, the tracking of public epidemics, exploration into the depths of the genome, and personalization functions that improve engagement. Data has accelerated business and the missions of many agencies. However, as the value of commodities like data increase, so does the appeal to malicious parties. Throughout the years, and even more so in the recent few, we've seen time and time again, day in and day out, about an organization or agency that has been breached. And more often than not, it's a case of bad data governance and security instead of a dynamic exploit created by some clever hacker. Now, imagine the number of systems breached and the amount of data that has been exfiltrated or tampered with that hasn't been detected or reported yet or ever. Organizations now more than ever have the requirement and often legal responsibility to keep their data campaigns secure. So throughout the years, the data management ecosystem responded to these challenges. CLOUDERA puts years of work into next generation sciences that enabled new forms of machine learning and AI. Hortonworks provided the development into advancing foundational technologies to produce an enterprise-ready data platform. And now, thanks to the merger, I'm sure you've heard by now, the band is back together again. CLOUDERA is now unified with the most robust open source enterprise data cloud platform available to date. Now with a fresh coat of paint, and the best and brightest all under one roof, CLOUDERA has come out of the gate with incredible speed in order to find their unified solutions and to get them in customers' hands as soon as possible. CLOUDERA is now poised to power all of your data, be that on-premise or in the cloud, and from the edge to AI. We'll get into what that means momentarily. Now that CLOUDERA and Hortonworks have merged, you have one of the largest open source companies on the planet, which means that development and innovation can be driven faster and more effectively, in addition to trajectory and value being democratized by the community and customer needs. There aren't too many other organizations that can go from bug report or enhancement requests to new technologies being developed and being offered back to benefit everyone. Looking at companies and organizations around the world, you can find CLOUDERA products almost everywhere you look, from the financial sector to medicine, and most certainly the public sector, where governments, agencies here and abroad rely on CLOUDERA's expertise and ability to drive their concerns and needs around data management. So CLOUDERA is 100% focused on delivering the industry's first truly seamless Enterprise Data Cloud. They're so focused that they changed their tagline to the Enterprise Data Company with a newly honed mission. Now, the Enterprise Data Company, the Data Cloud might be new, but Cloudera's why and how are not. And they've remained what drives their mission. The Enterprise Data Cloud, from the edge to AI, is what they deliver to help our customers remove barriers, gain insight, and manage their data securely. Being able to gather, transform, stream, and store everywhere around any device in any environment and between them is critical to efficient data campaigns. This capability is what's empowering people to get clear and actionable insights from complex data anywhere and makes that hybrid multi-cloud data platform an actual reality. This is a simple overview of what an enterprise data cloud is composed of. This is not directly representative of Cloudera's enterprise data cloud, which we'll get into in a moment. Just some of the core competencies you must meet and consider when scoping your own enterprise data cloud. The hybrid and multi-cloud strategy is a challenge for most organizations, no matter the workload. And the inclusion of on-premise commodity resources is difficult on top of that. The enterprise data cloud must solve enterprise's most pressing data analytic challenge in a streamlined fashion. Addressing real-world business problems generally requires the application of multiple analytic functions working together on multiple bits of data. It's not just one magic model running on one data set that will get you what you need. For example, autonomous vehicles require the application of both real-time data streaming and machine learning algorithms. Something that is absolutely critical is an enterprise data cloud has to be secure and compliant, meeting the strict data privacy, governance, and data migration and metadata management demands of large enterprises across all their environments. Lastly, enterprise data cloud must be open. Without an enterprise data cloud that is open source, you can run into vendor lock-in and limiting integrations without any way to influence or contribute to the development of what your organization needs. This is what Cloudera offers today, the Edge to AI core capabilities for the enterprise data cloud. Cloudera addresses all the key elements of an enterprise data cloud today: multi-function analytics, hybrid and multi-cloud deployments and interoperability, secure, governed, and open. As the product lines between Hortonworks and Cloudera's portfolios merge, we're seeing even deeper and more powerful integrations between these components and systems. One of those integral parts, and then Cloudera's enterprise data cloud, is Cloudera DATAFLOW. Cloudera's DATAFLOW is intended to power your needs around marshaling data from the edge, how it flows through networks and systems, offers processing capabilities while the data is still in flight and in motion, and analytics presented for every bit of stream data for what, who, and where. All this wrapped around a security governance policy. Cloudera DATAFLOW, you can quickly migrate your data, or even just parts of it, to geos, storage types, and so on. Enrich your data on the fly, pulling in and aggregating between multiple sources to deliver even more rich analytics and more holistic vantage points. in case your security information and event management system is eating your budget. You can use CLOUDERA DATAFLOW to cancel out the noise and hone in on the signal. Stream only what's important, be that logs, actions, sensor feedback, or any other sort of data. For CLOUDERA DATAFLOW, you can take data in from various sources, be that a data lake you have in a public cloud, your on-premise data warehouse, or even web-based stream data such as social media streams. Why not? From there, you can quickly organize, sort, and transform the stream data while in flight and set parameters and policies on where that data goes, such as maybe another tool like Elastic or your SIM. In case you have a high volume of data to manage and stream, CLOUDERA DATAFLOW can respond and handle millions of events a second with data of almost any size imaginable. Governance policies and life cycles are managed easily from the same secure and end-to-end encrypted drag-and-drop UI that you build your flows in. And if there isn't a stream processor already available in the expansive catalog, it's pretty easy to create one. If more than the web UI as an interface, flows and their components are stored as files, so they can be edited manually or produced as part of an automation pipeline. With the version control offered by the registry in CLOUDERA's DATAFLOW, you can apply the same DevOps and CI/CD workflows that your other development teams benefit from. So oftentimes it's easy to manage long-lived or rested data, but what about data on low compute and embedded devices with short half-lives? CLOUDERA DATAFLOW can offer more than just streaming your data. It can offer a way to govern the movement and weight of it throughout your enterprise. This allows you to not only stream, transform, aggregate, and enrich streaming data, but also ensures that it only arrives at its intended destination and it's only seen by who it's intended for. Now, CLOUDERA DATAFLOW is what helps CLOUDERA tackle that edge to AI bit. With Minify, you can stream data from small IoT devices at and beyond the edge. This can fit on meager IoT devices and single board computers, such as the original Raspberry Pi even, to more hardened and weatherproof real-time operating system-driven embedded sensors. So that 3 times fast. So some solutions can move and migrate data, yeah. What about managing live streams of data? Now, as you're streaming this data in and out of your data lakes and in between your edge devices, you run into a few common problems. Some streaming solutions require you to move your data somewhere, store it in a specific way, in order to be used, which wastes a lot of costly resources and, most importantly, time. Often, this is time series-based data as well, so the information is more crucial closer to the time of inception, which means your analytics and insight programs are operating after the fact instead of being able to respond immediately. And if you've got all that tackled, then I'm sure you know and see every piece of data moving through your enterprise, right? The solutions offered in CLOUDERA's DATAFLOW actually do tackle those challenges. For Kafka, you have a robust and scalable publisher and subscriber queue that can respond to millions of streams. Apache Storm allows you to act and process upon those streams in real time while data is still in flight without needing to offload, store, and aggregate onto a compute cluster. With the stream's messaging manager and streaming analytic manager, you gain the ability to not only see the streams going through your system and their associated properties, so you can analyze and visualize those streams as well. The Schema Manager and Registry extends powerful access and version control to key components that make up your flow and provides a collaborative continuous integration, continuous deployment workflow to accelerate your data campaigns. These and other technologies come together to offer you the CLOUDERA DATAFLOW platform, one of the key components in the enterprise data cloud that harnesses all of your data from edge to AI. Outside of the technology stack, a few things that set apart CLOUDERA's data flow is the assurance of CLOUDERA's 100% dedication to open source. As I mentioned before, there are a bevy of built-in stream processors, a number of which has almost doubled in the last 2 years due to the drive of the community and how easy it is to create new data processors that can work across multiple streaming analytic engines with governance and management policies baked in. Now for something a lot of our customers have been asking about, we'll be taking a quick look at how things are shaping up with the merger of these technology platforms. Something being introduced with the new CLOUDERA Enterprise Data Cloud is a simple set of tools to manage your entire enterprise data cloud. You'll get a single pane of glass to act upon your data lakes, policies, and workloads. So welcome to the next generation data platform from CLOUDERA. A single management plane to orchestrate, operate, and secure your whole platform, no matter if it's in the cloud, multiple clouds, on-premise, and even right down to the edge devices. CLOUDERA's SDX, or Shared Data Experience, is part of this platform that unifies data management for all your data and presents it with a stateful context that defines the security, governance, cataloging, and lifecycle policies around the various data endpoints. This presents you with a data catalog that allows you to apply multidisciplinary analytic models, no matter where your data is. And in the middle of this stack, sandwich, we have the core functions that comprise the enterprise data cloud, be that streaming, manipulating, storing, accessing, analyzing, or creating new machine learning models, all on an open source platform. The merger of the two platforms from CLOUDERA and Hortonworks brought together some amazing technologies, but also presented a little bit of overlap. A few of the noteworthy and most asked about changes. Moving forward, CLOUDERA will support the very user-friendly CLOUDERA Manager. Ranger will keep security context and checks in line. CloudBreak has been selected for automated and multi-cluster managed cloud deployments. And Hive on TES is being promoted for its rich integrations with the Yarn architecture. Looking at the charts, you can see that we're greatly benefiting from the merger of these platforms, since most of the changes are due to their merging of similar technologies into a much more powerful but simpler stack, or integrating complementary technologies. You'll be happy to know that you can run your CLOUDERA Data Science Workbench jobs right next to your Zeppelin notebooks. Now, does this mean that if you were operating the previous CLOUDERA stack, do you need to rip and replace your CLOUDERA director with CloudBreak managed clusters? Or if you were running a Hortonworks platform, do you need to retool around CLOUDERA Manager immediately? The answer is no. CLOUDERA is dedicated to supporting these softwares for a few years to come, as their customers carve out their upgrade strategies. So now with this new platform, There's a slight change in form factor and overarching architecture, the new CLOUDERA Enterprise Data Cloud. As you saw from the screenshot earlier, the new Enterprise Data Cloud will feature a unified management control plane that's offered as a hosted service by CLOUDERA. If you are operating in some secure enclave, don't worry. There are options for disconnected environments as well. It's through this new management console that you'll not only access your data, but also where you'd instantiate your data warehouses, jobs, and machine learning models, data engineering services, and more. SDX is the glue that brings your various data lakes together, and of course this can be run across any supported public cloud provider. If you're not using a public cloud provider and are still working on premises or want to include these resources in your enterprise data cloud, CLOUDERA offers a wide array of options. As we've seen the industry at large adopt containers and orchestration platforms like Kubernetes and OpenShift. CLOUDERA has also developed a scalable architecture on Kubernetes so that your services and workloads can be scaled up and down, out and in, all elastically on demand. Now, you can run this on your own Kubernetes platform, OpenShift cluster, or take the batteries included approach, where CLOUDERA provides you with exactly what you need, with the Kubernetes sort of baked in to quickly get up and running. Use Kubernetes as the underlying platform allows CLOUDERA's Enterprise Data Cloud to scale and run on any cloud or environment without the need to manage different hypervisors, images, and so on. As CLOUDERA and Hortonworks' product catalogs and development roadmaps have converged, we now have the ability to run a unified data platform across our various environments and use a single management console to operate all of your enterprise data cloud. Governance, policies, and workloads enacted on any and all of your data, with the peace of mind knowing you're operating a 100% open source data platform that keeps you free from vendor lock-in or relying on cloud-specific APIs and services. So what should you look for and keep in mind when scoping your own enterprise data cloud solution? Being able to interact with your data workflows as you would in traditional DevOps practices is key. But your platform components and workloads also need the ability to atomically scale and upgrade independently. Try to steer clear of products and platforms and services that rely on one vendor, one platform, or a specific closed environment or ecosystem. This will keep you from vendor lock-in and also allows you the opportunity to deploy your data and workloads where costs and resources are best justified. Jumping in and out of control panels, different technologies that don't interoperate fluidly, and a lack of automation is what we're already faced with. A unified solution that can intelligently catalog, govern, and secure your enterprise data cloud is paramount in being able to get up to speed and stay at that pace. So let's say you're currently running a CLOUDERA or Hortonworks platform. What does this all mean for you? What's in it for me, right? As a customer member of the community, you're benefiting from CLOUDERA's heightened commitment to open source. You're financially and operationally in a great position and are driving more development and innovation in the ecosystem. Your current deployments will be supported till at least January 2022, with potential additional support options being explored. if you're wanting to take advantage of this new CLOUDERA data cloud, have 200 bare metal servers, and simply want to update or want to explore bursting and elastic workloads in the cloud, there will be a seamless upgrade and interoperability path for you, whether you're on a CLOUDERA or Hortonworks platform. Between the two companies, they had every major public cloud provider as a larger partner. Now under one roof, you can expect best-of-breed hybrid and multi-cloud deployments. And probably the most important benefit is that CLOUDERA is the leader in this space, with the largest collection of experts deployed and trusted across all the federal government. All right. Now that you've gotten a peek into CLOUDERA's Enterprise Data Cloud, what should you do next? If you have a current CLOUDERA account manager, simply reach out to them. A lot of their teams that we work with are extremely active and engaged. We work very closely with them. Otherwise, feel free to reach out directly to us, and we'll be happy to get you situated. If you're in the public sector, we have a series of partner spotlights featuring the CLOUDERA teams, one of which is the Civilian Sciences team, shown here. If you're more technically inclined and want to test and get started quickly, feel free to explore our GitHub repository. There are sources for our workshops, training, as well as some new Ansible playbooks to easily and quickly aid in the deployment of some CLOUDERA products. And before we close, we'd like to open up to any audience member questions, comments, concerns, qualms, queries, conundrums, or even threats. We'll field it all.
Thank you, Ken. So now we'll begin the Q&A portion of this webinar. At this time, please use the Q&A box on the left-hand side of your screen to ask any questions. And I'll give everyone a minute before we get started.
And as we're situating questions, I'll present you our contact information as well. Feel free to contact either one of us or directly at our larger CLOUDERA team at cloudera@fiercesw.com.
Okay, it looks like we have our first question. What is your approach to building the unified security and governance model, which you mentioned during the presentation?
Yeah, so you can't just attack it head on. First, you need to define what and where your data is, which is actually the hardest part of these processes. When you're defining your data, you need to set the sensitivity, context, access requirements, and a bevy of other metadata. When you get to this point, you can start applying a holistic security and governance model, and CLOUDERA's shared data experience, or SCX, is what helps provide this functionality. What's important about it is that it glues across your entire enterprise, because siloed security is not effective as security. Hope that answered your question. If not, follow up and we'll get you some more information.
Great. And our second question is, could you elaborate on how providing a 100% open source technology helps avoid vendor lock-in?
Yeah, absolutely. So I will beat this open source horse beyond. And yeah, so the cloud really accelerated technology by making infrastructure and managed services easy and cost-effective, right? However, a lot of people found that there were elongated expenses and forgotten hidden costs and with cloud workloads, and they've been looking at multi and hybrid cloud solutions as well as on, using their on-premise infrastructures too. So how the cloud and open source kind of tie in together is that the story is as old as time. Proprietary software will lock you in, and generally you have no assurances or expectations of what the future holds, right? Open source software, however, is dictated by the community, and their needs can outlive any organization or company or agency. On top of that, now, when you're buying into cloud or platform-specific services, it means that it's often difficult to migrate away, which is larger technical debt than a lot of people will expect for something that you just quickly, easy click and deploy some sort of data warehouse. And otherwise, you're now being presented with some cloud solutions that are touted as open source, but have some slight tweaks and changes that don't really truly make it open source. That's why it's important to keep your options open with a truly open source platform. It keeps your availability of infrastructure providers as open as possible.
Okay, great. And then one more question. You talked a lot about data management, but how do you enable machine learning and AI for an agency?
Yeah, okay. That is a great question. To get to building machine learning models and creating engineered data solutions to power AI constructs and all this other fun stuff, you have to first learn how to manage your data. Not only that, you have to be able to govern and access all of your data from anywhere. Once you get there, you can start to correlate real value across these different data sets with machine learning models and AI, but until then, you'd just be doing traditional analytics on fixed data sets, right? So this is why it's important to master data management across all of your enterprises, because without it, you can't harness the intelligence across different sets and active streams, and which is another difficulty for some to master, is how to add streaming data. Now, if you're looking for a platform that can tackle these challenges and power your machine learning and AI campaigns, then you're set, because between the data science workbench, Zeppelin, and other integrated tools, you can operate almost any model in pretty much every language or framework that's available out there today. So yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ken. That's all the time we have for questions today. I'd like to thank everyone and all of our participants for being with us today. We hope this webinar has been helpful for you and your organization. As a reminder, this webinar was recorded and a copy of the presentation will be emailed to you. If we were unable to get to any of your questions, we will reach out to you offline to follow up. But if you have any further questions or would like to request more information, feel free to contact the Cloudera team. Our contact information is displayed on your screen, so please don't hesitate to call or email us. Thank you and have a great day.